Welcome to I Am One, where I am one with the Creator and one with myself. I want to come on today. It is July 7th, 2024. It is the first Sunday of the month. And I just have a quick word for you for this month. Um, I came over to my ancestor altar and I was lifting the shade to bring in some natural light. And I saw a bunny rabbit outside the window, munching on a leaf that was on the ground. Now, we have rabbits that are, they go to and fro on our property, and I mainly see them in the backyard and the garden area. So I've never seen one this close to the actual house. That, they hop around the property, but never seen one this close to the house itself. So I thought it was peculiar to one see it that close. And so I'm like, okay, there's got to be something. I got to get out of this. What is it? So I pulled out, I have the Wild Unknown Pocket Animal Spirit deck. So I pulled this out because I'm like, okay, there's got to be a rabbit in this deck. So I pull it out, I'm going through the cards, and sure enough, I find the card that has a picture of a rabbit. So here's that card. So let me just read what the book says about this card. And normally, what I do when I pull a card for myself, I will make a picture of the card and I put it in my journal. And I don't have a fancy journal. I just have a Staples notebook and I put a label on it. And I call my journal Conjure Chronicles. You can call yours whatever you want to call it, but that's what I call mine. So, anyway, when I pull a card, I take a picture of it. And for the regular Rider Waite deck, I actually bought stickers because, that's a common deck. So they made stickers. So I'll either take a picture of the card that I've pulled or I'll, pull the sticker from the Rider Waite sticker set that I have and place it on in my journal for the day that I'm making note of this. Because I want to go back and I want to see, what was going on. Maybe there was something I needed to work on, and then I can go back and see the progress I've made from when I put that journal entry in there. So anyway, when I found the card and then I opened the book to see what the meaning of the rabbit was, it was very interesting and to the point for me. So I thought if it's for me, maybe it's for somebody else. Let's just share and encourage one another. So here we go. It says the rabbit loves to remind his friends that someday the eagle will soon sweep down and eat him. He talks and talks and talks about it so loudly, in fact, that one day the eagle hears and thanks him for the great idea. Rabbit and rabbit energy is alive when we are scared, most often about the future. And when we become our own, and then we become our own worst enemy. We spin up a dust cloud of fear and then complain to others that we're lost. Notice your thoughts and words, oh rabbit. They shape your destiny. And it's funny because I was just laying on the sofa right across from where I'm sitting here recording this. I was just laying on the couch and I wasn't necessarily sweating it, but I was just thinking about everything that I have going on just this month alone. I'm a supervisor, and the end of the fiscal year was June 30th. The beginning of the new fiscal year is July 1. So I've got stats for last month to do. Then I've got stats for the whole year that a report is due on the 19th. I'm adding more providers to our team, and there's just a lot going on. That's just the work side of my life. And there's personal stuff going on with one of my sisters that I'm trying to get some things taken care of and sorted out for her. And then there's the home that I have to take care of, and relationship with my husband that we're working on, and just a whole bunch of stuff going on. So it's one thing to have to deal with one aspect of your life and everything else is silent. But when everything is in an uproar and everything is going on, it is easy to get overwhelmed. And that's one of the words for this card, the card of the rabbit. It is afraid of everything, or it is overwhelmed, or it is frozen. And if you've noticed rabbits when they're out in their element and they're doing their thing and they don't think that there's anything that could possibly harm them, they're having fun, they're hopping around, they're doing their thing, no issue. But the minute those ears go up and they feel like there is a threat in the area, the first thing they do, they freeze because they want to make sure, okay, if there's a threat, is it necessarily a threat to me, or is it something I can overlook and then continue with whatever I was doing? And we look at them and we're saying, "Oh, bunny rabbit, you're so cute. You're so because they are cute and they are adorable." And if you start walking toward them and you don't mean them any harm, but they don't know that you don't mean them any harm, and the first thing they do after the freeze is over, they take off because that fear, that flight or fright aspect in them gets them going, and they don't know how to distinguish between this is just a human who's enjoying my beauty, as opposed to this is a predator who's trying to take my life. And when we get overwhelmed and when there's a lot of things that are going on with us, we can go in either of those directions. So when we want to look at being in balance, it says that we need to be sensitive. We need to be a sensitive problem solver. So that doesn't mean we're putting our head in the sand and we're ignoring everything that's going on around us, or we're ignoring everything that is in front of us that we have to pay attention to. It is saying we take a breath, we get a strategy together, we get a piece of paper and a pen, and we start writing down what we're responsible for, what is coming due, and then we do a step by step. Okay, first I can take care of this. And then once I can take care of that, then I can focus on this. And once I focus on that and complete that, then I can focus on this, and just take it a step at a time. The other positive side of this is we have to learn how to be a good listener. If someone is giving us advice, if we're reaching out to somebody and we're venting and we're saying, I don't know how I can do all this, I don't know how all this is going to happen, I don't know how I can complete all this in this time frame because there's only 24 hours of a day, blah, 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 blah. And they start to give you sound instruction and maybe some constructive criticism on how you're looking at the situation. It's time for us to just stop complaining and be a good listener. Don't just disregard because they don't know what they're talking about. They're not walking in your shoes and they're not doing what you have to do. Listen to what they have to say and take what you can take and make it work to your benefit. And if there's nothing that they're saying that's going to add to it, don't make it a bigger deal. Just say thank you for the information. Thank you for considering. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for offering your advice. I will take that into consideration and move on. The downside of this is that we get out of balance. And when we get out of balance, then we start to uh, over explain what's going on. We start to, we're not just saying what the problem is. We're not just saying what the issue is. We're not just saying what the mandate is at the moment. Then we got to go to the back history and we got to talk about everything that led up to this. And that is so unnecessary. Why? Because that's eating up your time. And not only that, it's eating up your energy, and it just exasperates your you being overwhelmed. It's taking it to another level that it does not need to go to. The other side of that unbalance is then you start talking fast because you think the more you say, then the better that's going to sound, and then the better it's going to make you feel. When at the end of the day, when all the fast talk is done, when all the complaining is done, the situation is still there, and it still has to be addressed. It still has to be, whatever the case may be, met. It still has to be dealt with. So, in order for us to stay in balance, sometimes, and it's interesting because we're the new moon season and it's in Cancer. And one of the aspects of this new moon is self care. Some of us need to learn, including myself, we need to learn how to care for ourselves. And I'm not just talking about um, uh, taking yourself out on a date. I'm not just talking about taking a day off from work, because the next day when you get back to work, the stuff is still there. What I'm talking about is caring, truly caring for yourself. I felt myself, with everything that's going on with me, I felt myself starting to get sick. And I thought, well, maybe it's the allergies because I was out in the garden a couple of days, and it's summertime, and while I don't get major allergy flare-ups anymore like I used to when I was younger, I thought, maybe my allergies were kicking in because I was outside. But then I realized when I started to assess the aches that I was feeling, one of the aches was a sore throat, and I don't get a sore throat with my allergies. So I knew I was starting to come down with a cold, excuse me. And so right away I knew I got to get up and I got to get my vitamins. I got to take my vitamins. I got to take my aspirin that the doctor had prescribed for me. I got to take care of myself, because as majestic and regal and fierce as I think I am, if I'm not taking care of this body, if I'm not taking care of my mind, if I'm not taking care of my spirit, I am going to crash and burn. And I felt myself starting to crash and burn. And if we don't pay attention to the signs, we have nobody to blame but ourselves. And sometimes we just need to learn to sit in silence. Yep, I have reports due. Yep, I have evaluations due. Yep, I have stats due. Yep, we're getting another 52 providers from a different team onto our team that now we're going to be responsible for. Yes, I'm trying to figure this out for my sister. Yes, I'm trying to get the pieces of the puzzles together to get that situation taken care of and stabilized. Yep, a lot of stuff is going on that I personally have to speak to. And I cannot be the rabbit that freezes, because stuff has to get done, and it's got to be done in a timely manner. And I can't have the mindset, well, they're picking on me and they just want me to fail and they just want to see how they want to see me sweat. I can't have that mindset that somebody's always trying to get me, somebody's always trying to punk me, somebody's always trying to tear me down, somebody's always trying to do this to me. No, I signed up for this job. So I know the responsibilities that I have. I can't say so and so and so and so is trying to do this to me, because I signed up for it. And this is part of the responsibility. Is it extra stuff? Yep. But I took it on. So we can't get into this pointing the finger and blame game thing. We can't do it. We can't afford to. We don't have time, because we still have to meet our mandates. We still have to meet our obligations. We still have to fulfill our responsibilities. We still have to get shit done. We do. And it is not always fun. It is not always pretty. But when we pay attention to the signs that the universe, the creator, God, ancestors, spirit guides, whoever you call on, when we pay attention to the signs that are being given to us, and we sit back and we just take a breath and we sit in the silence, and then we remind ourselves, I was created for this. That's why it's in my lap. It's not that nobody else can do it. Nobody else can do it like me. No one else can do it like you. So you were called for this. You were chosen. You can handle it. You have everything you need. Even though you don't see it right now manifesting, coming to fruition, and you wish it would speed up just a little bit, you have everything you need. You are the shit. You are the one. The one. Neo was the one in the Matrix. You are the one in your Matrix right now. I'm the one in this Matrix. I'm the one. So don't see it as the sky is falling and everybody's trying to take you out. Don't freeze in the moment because it's just too much and you don't know which way you need to turn. Yes, stop and assess and see what's really going on, and then jump to work. So on this first Sunday of July, I hope this encourages you. I hope this helps you get through whatever you're going through. And if it's not you, help your friend out. Help your sister out. Help your brother out. Help your coworker out. Help your supervisor out. Help your mom, your dad, whoever needs to hear it. We got this. I'm tired, but I got this. And vacation is coming at the end of the month, so I know I got to get it. But it is all doable. And as I always say in my prayers or my intentions, uh, my workings that I do, I always end it with, as above, so below, as within, so without. I have spoken it, and it is so. Peace and blessings to you all.